there to press number 2. So take a number 2 while
Take
you're watching Higher Thought,
number 2.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, Holly, what's been on your brain here? You're also a teacher, right?
Also a teacher.
A teacher.
This year will be my 5th year teaching, coming into 2017, 2018. So I'm trying to keep that not on my brain, though.
Well, surely over the summertime, I mean, obviously I'm a teacher as well, so over the summertime it's chill time, but I know that we've had plenty of discussions before concerning education and, obviously on the show, Higher Thought, that is one of our, ongoing topics.
Absolutely.
It's like, what is up with the education system?
And I feel like only teachers talk about it, honestly, or maybe not asked about their opinion, because I have a lot of ideas for teaching and education, and
right, it's like
always
take your
on the brain.
$45,000 and shut up.
Yeah, more like 38. But that's
38 smaller parishes. After when you got the masters and you've been teaching for a minute, it goes up a little bit. But so if you can kind of try to pinpoint it, like what are some things that are going on in the classroom that teachers need help with, or that could be better?
I don't know. I guess from my teaching standpoint, one of the things that I have an issue with is just I have learners that are up here, higher level learners, and then some that are lower. And to me, the way that it's set up, I have to teach to kind of the lower levels, and I'm concerned that the kids who are up here and who get it aren't getting their needs met.
Well, and I run into that as well. I've got some brilliant kids in some classes.
Yeah, me too.
In the same exact class, I got kids that can't read.
Yep, me too.
So ultimately, it's like you end up teaching to the middle, even. And it's like the smart kids are bored. The other kids don't get it. The slower kids don't get it, and everybody else kind of just move along. So it is what it is. But
but how do you solve that problem though? Because you can't. You have to. Have everybody has to be available. Education has to be available to everybody. So how do you solve
I think it's an easy solution, really. It's, rather than grouping the kids by age as a cohort, group them by intelligence.
Yeah, and I've heard you talk about that before, and I think that's a great idea. And I've actually had conversations in my classrooms before about that.
If you're smart enough to graduate high school at 13 or 14 years old,
you should be allowed to do that.
Yeah,
you should be
go to
able
college,
to do that.
Get a head start. Why should you have to be bored for 4 years in high school?
Yep.
So that is definitely one of the issues.
It's just hard to streamline it that way, though. Like, how do you know? Like, for instance, my daughter, she's in the gifted program in Lafayette Parish. She had to be recommended by a teacher in 2nd grade is when she was recommended to even take the gifted test. So why not have all kids, whenever they're coming into kindergarten, take the test, take like an aptitude test, and then you shove them this way and that.
Have the smart school, have the medium school, have the not so
I guess people are
school.
afraid that that would be open to discrimination.
They don't want their kids to have to go to the not so smart school,
right?
But it's because
and who would want to teach there too?
Really? Hey, maybe you can kind of bump up the salary for those teachers. For having to go the extra mile, because it's essentially special ed that you're teaching. So
and that might cut down on behavior issues too. If you are testing kids when they're very young and send them to a classroom where it's focused on their type of learning. And on their level, then that might take out a lot of behavior issues too.
Well, and it's just exactly, and it's just like when you send some of these trouble kids to like the base or whatever they call it, and they learn how to like be a machinist or a carpenter.
Right. Yeah.
And they're using their hands because they're bodily kinesthetic learners.
Yes, exactly. You have all those different intelligences.
They want to move around. They want to touch stuff. And that's not prime for a class. And I still lecture in my class.
Well, you have to. You have to lecture.
Well, especially when you have no textbook.
Yes, exactly.
And in my case, and that's kind of a common theme, like no funding, no textbooks.
Yep. They were talking, actually, I just did at a, I don't know if I can say the school, so I'll just say the high school that my daughter is going to. Sure. She. That's
kind of the best way to do things
on
the air. It's not saying any names.
I didn't know, but that's what I figured.
Negative about your school.
Okay, so we went to a tour yesterday, and they told us that they're hoping for every incoming, and at this point, if you're still hoping, and it's freaking July, that they're hoping to give every incoming freshman a Chromebook. and they're moving
Doing the same
towards
at our
online
school.
textbooks. And I think that's genius. It would be cheaper to do it that way. I mean, you would still have our kids going to take care of these very expensive machines.
Probably not.
Probably
Will
not.
they be replaced if they're broken? Probably not.
Right, yeah. So
um,
the counselor was saying, yeah, we'll probably keep them here at the school, but at least we'll have them available to them.
Well, yeah, and I think that's part of the automation of education, which is
Yeah.
the direction it's headed. Eventually, there
Teachers
won't-
will be automated.
well, we'll just basically be like at our house teaching a lecture that's online, and you just gotta click
That
on the
would be
video.
perfect.
Well, it's gonna cut a lot of
Yes.
jobs.
Yeah, it will cut a
Yeah.
lot of jobs.
So,
Yeah.
but that's kind of another common theme of society is the computer taking human jobs.
Absolutely. Actually, on that note,
And
there.
real quick, Katie Ann, if you want to call in 366-8950, give us your thoughts. Do you have any stories about your school and maybe how it could get better?
Any teachers out there that can add into the conversation?
Without a doubt.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
But on the note of the whole
Automations.
automation of society, so apparently there was this libertarian candidate in California. He's running for governor, I believe, and he ran in the 2016 presidential election. Didn't get a whole lot of press or anything, but one of his platforms is giving every resident of California a $50,000 living minimum wage a year. Every resident in California.
Sure.
In order to, because he's saying that jobs are eventually going to go to machines. And so how are people going to be able to sustain themselves without that?
Well, my question is, who pays for that?
Well, I think what his plan is that they have government land that they will sell to corporations
So
who
the
can,
corporations will give us a small living wage.
which leads to a whole lot of other problems too. You become beholden to those corporations and what their needs are, what they want.
Well, and we
not
used
worse
to say it on the show
already.
a lot that slavery does still exist.
Absolutely.
It's just economic slavery or office slavery. Basically we're monkeys trying to get a living wage here. Put food on the table and barely
Living check
getting
to
by.
check.
While the fat cats in Wall Street and Washington D.C. are taking it to the bank.
Yep.
So, but that's the way society works.
That's the way it's going.
So this
So do you prepare
libertarian
for it?
candidate wants to give everybody 50 grand, and
To be able to sustain themselves. So then what do you do? If you don't have a job and you just have this living wage, then some would say that opens the field for maybe pursuing a dream, or pursuing a lifelong dream that you might have, or
idiocracy.
Where you just sit at your
on my
house
tube
and watch Al My
TV
Balls all day.
Yeah, Al My Balls is on all day long, on repeat, and you'll have toilets in the couches, and the refrigerator.
Giant trash piles outside.
So that you hate to think that it's headed that direction,
Mm-hmm.
but and really, isn't that socialism? When you just give everybody.
It is. That
and
is
wouldn't that
socialism.
completely drive down the value of a dollar? Being as though why would anybody want to go get a job?
Right. Yeah. When you have $50,000
Let me just get my
automatic.
government 50 grand right quick, and I'm gonna vote for the guy that gives me the 50 grand.
Yeah, and really in California, what's $50,000 a year going to do?
You're gonna be poor.
Yeah, really.
So it's okay. Well, how about nobody work and everybody be poor?
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know if it's going to work, but speaking of even automation, Stanford, they did a study recently that it's a fitness-based research from the smartphones. You know how you can track your steps and everything.
Yeah, they have those little apps for that, those little workout apps.
Yeah, so they use 700,000 people across 111 countries to basically see what the gap is between activity and equality, and it kind of showed hot spots of where people are walking a lot.
Okay.
There's got to be issues with this study. I would
Well, 700,000 people over 111
Well, not
countries. That's
everybody's
pretty
got
spread
iPhones
out.
and
Yeah.
smartphones
Yeah,
and
so
stuff, or the tracking devices on at all times, or
Yeah. So how did they conduct this study? How?
Well, let's see. Well, basically, they just tracked the apps.
Of people who had the app.
Of the people who had the app.
The workout app.
But, you know, the article that I read kind of went on how it was unreliable, but just so you know, in the United States and Mexico, the average number of steps per day is 4,500 steps.
Oh, God. That's awful.
That's a lot of steps.
That's not that many steps.
Is
4,500? No. Like, I think to have, like, I have some teachers at my school who have the little Fitbits, right? Those are the little watches. And their goal is 10,000, like to be healthy and take 10,000 steps. Think about how many steps you take just from kitchen to living room, and 4,500 isn't that much. What were some of the other countries? Did you?
Well, it like had them all over the world, and I think like it said Brazil was probably one of the places they take the least amount of steps.
Really?
Which is interesting. But they were saying how there's like cities that are more walker friendly than others.
Right.
Like in New Orleans, like you walk all the freaking time.
Walker friendly. If you live in the quarter, or around
if you
the
live
corner.
Downtown in New Orleans, you're walking a few miles a day.
Yeah. Totally.
And
I used to work down there, and I would walk from Jackson Square to the Canal streetcar, and from the streetcar to where I lived.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you're building up them leg muscles, working on the hiney. I guess that's kind of how you do it. So they were saying it's kind of some unfriendly walking areas. Like Houston was one of the bad places.
Houston's horrible.
You can't walk anywhere.
No, you have to drive everywhere in Houston, and it takes forever, and because it's so spread out. And honestly, having grown up like in a suburb of Houston, even the suburbs, like you have to drive everywhere. Nothing is close. Our grocery store was a few miles away. I guess you could walk that if you want to, but you don't.
Is Lafayette a walker-friendly area? I mean, we got bike lanes everywhere.
Bike lanes, which I don't see that many people using.
Because nobody wants to get run over by somebody texting and driving.
That's true.
I mean, like, I hate to say it. I love you, Lafayette, but you're not the best drivers.
Well, actually, they passed, I don't know if it was Lafayette or Louisiana or whatever, but there's some kind of law being passed that if you are caught being a distracted driver, no matter what you're doing, on the phone, texting on the phone, talking on the phone, eating, they were saying, doing some other stuff like
smoking.
If you're, I don't know if smoking's a distracted driver thing. But you do have one wheel on the hand most of the time, I guess. I don't know. But if you're caught being a distracted driver,
but what percentage of smokers, like in their cars, are also littering?
Oh,
like 100%. Who puts their cigarettes in an ashtray in their car?
Buddy.
Not too many people.
Yeah. And that's just washes down into the.
So we need to be healthier as a country. We need to walk more. You know.
4,500 steps isn't cutting it.
How about our mental health? Should we be able to take mental health sick days?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if being stressed out and having a nervous breakdown is considered having bad mental health, then you should be able to. If you are working constantly, stress builds up, and it's really hard to relieve that stress. You go home, you think about work.
Day.
Yeah, you take a personal day. It would be nice if those mental health days were added on to whatever already is a sick day. We get 10 days.
10 days, I believe, and some of them carry over. I think it's
it carries over.
I think it's the personal ones. I don't know. But in the news this week, we had a lady, Madeline Parker, who's this web developer. She called in, wrote an email to everybody, saying, "Hey, I'm taking a mental health, sick day. I hope to be back refreshed on Monday." And actually her boss, thinking, whoa, the boss might say something, but he's like, hey, she's an example to all of us, and we all need to, take note of our mental health.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely, that's what drives people crazy. That's how you get burnout. And if you're a burnout employee, you're not an effective employee.
And going back to teaching,
teacher or whatever.
Yeah, going back to teaching, what's with these meetings in the beginning of the year that break your soul? And just you need a vacation day or a mental health day before the year even starts. So that's part of this education system. Let's break the teacher's spirit before they get in there. Year even starts.
I can genuinely say that I have really never learned anything of significance in those first 2 days of in-services ever.
Nothing.
Maybe like one thing, and you'll have a giant packet of stuff that you're going through, and you circle one thing. And I mean,
We
they're
go
horrible.
through the employee handbook. It's basically the like orientation for new employees the same year.
Well, yeah, yeah.
So
It drains you, though. I wish that whole time I'm sitting there going, man, if I could be in my classroom
be in my
doing
classroom
stuff.
preparing for the school
Preparing the
year.
way that I want to prepare for my classroom. But
So-
instead, I'm being told all these other things that I need to do.
And I mean, I can totally understand learning new procedures that the school's trying to do, or learning a specific program, or how to write people up, or whatever your procedures
Yeah,
are.
something
That's
that
fine.
helps you.
Yeah, that's fine. But come on, like
It's
some of
awful.
the stuff is so redundant.
It's
I
very
don't wanna be-
redundant. That's
you don't
a good
wanna-
word.
Okay, so this health care bill, it's news. Do we care? Yeah, we care. I mean, we care. Here on
yeah.
Higher Thought, we care about everything.
We do, yes. All right, I need to take note of that because I was about to say, meh.
Meh. Well, it's
I
just
mean,
like,
yeah, I guess you have to care. I mean, what were you gonna say?
on Higher Thought, we don't watch the news anymore. Well,
I-
maybe Chris Cadlick did, but I can't
Cadlick
watch the
did.
news anymore because it's poisonous.
It's toxic. That also drags you down. Nothing's positive anymore. Everything's negative.
Well, and it's all political theater anyways,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it's those rich
Wag
fat
the
cats, pretty much writing the script
Yep.
from the top, and they own all the media corporations, so it's just like, I don't care about their opinion or about their drama or their story, divide the country, whatever,
And that's all it does. It's dividing the country.
That's lower thought. We're up here in higher thought. Sheesh. So yeah, I mean, some more Washington politicians ripping us off,
Right.
Losing coverage. However, they are writing into the bill $45 billion to combat the extreme opioid addiction that America has, and we even have a bad one
Jesus.
in Lafayette. I checked this one out. 3 out of 4 accidental deaths in Lafayette are from opioids.
3 out of 4.
Yep.
Holy
Accidental
crap!
deaths, meaning overdose.
No kidding. From opioids.
Yeah.
And these. So what are these? I mean, I guess the person is personally responsible for that, but they're trying to hold doctors responsible for that too, right?
Without a doubt.
Overwriting of prescriptions.
Well, I mean, it's basically overwriting of the prescriptions. People are going doctor shopping and getting
multiple
whoever will
prescriptions.
write them the prescriptions.
Oh, yeah.
So the FDA is going to review the safety of opioid painkillers. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Funny thing about opioids, Afghanistan produces about 90% of the world's
Yeah, they're like
opium.
the heroin capital, right?
Yeah,
Aren't they?
and prior to 9/11 and us invading Afghanistan, they
I
only
smell
produced about
conspiracy
like
coming on.
7% of the world's opium. So just go and bomb them real quick, and take control of the whole field, and like get
So
the whole
it's
world
really
some heroin. Yeah, it's a bad thing, folks.
So do doctors get a kickback from prescriptions that they write from
yeah.
these pharmaceutical companies?
Oh yeah, and like every time, don't quote me on this, but I have heard that like every time a doctor says, "Hey, you've got, you got to go through chemotherapy," they get $5,000 right there,
Jesus.
right there.
$5,000 for chemo.
So it's like they overprescribe, like, "Hey, you got a lump," or
Overprescribe
"Hey, you got a
chemo.
little bit of that," and so,
then also they're not.
hey, and our first call of the night. Hey, let's see what we got. Hello, you're live on Higher Thought. Welcome
Hey
to the
there.
show.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Good, how
good.
are you?
I'm doing good. Look, Nick, I was just watching y'all, man. I just wanted to make a comment.
Yeah, what you got?
I hear y'all was talking about how depressing the news is and everything. But, I hear people saying that, when I can't understand, when I look at CNN, they tell me it's all chaos in Washington and everything is going wrong. And when I look at Fox, they say, everything is overblown and nothing is going on.
Yeah.
The left is imagining things. So what's really going on, man?
It's divide and conquer, baby.
Exactly.
Pick
it's
a white
side.
and black, it's straight and gay, it's Christian and Muslim, it's, every way we can be divided, man.
Right. And they're pitting everybody against everybody. Is nobody coming together and working on nothing? And let me just make another comment. I hear people in my community, they tell us, well, go vote. Go vote, go vote. People die for voting. People die for voting. Listen, Nick, I'm almost 60 years old, man. I've been since back in the 60s. I've been hearing people running on jobs, on taxes, on schools, on health care. And here it is, Nick, 60 years later, man.
Have they followed through on that?
Ain't a goddamn thing has been settled.
Yep.
You know, so that's...
Yep. What happened?
So that tell me right there, somebody is jerking my chain, man. Somebody's lying to me, man.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean...
You know, because after 60, 50 years, 40 years, if they ain't got the taxes right, it's like that healthcare stuff. Nick, in the country we live in, man, all that stuff should have been settled 25, 30 years ago with health care. Everybody should be able to get health care. People on the jobs, everything should be smooth because all these geniuses we so say elect to bring to Baton Rouge and then to bring to Washington supposed to know how to handle all that, man.
Well, do you think they really have our best interest at heart, you know, or do they really have, you know, the richest billionaires that run these major corporations' best interest at heart?
They can't have our best interest at heart because if they would, they wouldn't have all that in-house fighting, all that name calling, all that junior high stuff.
It's political theater.
That doesn't make any sense, man. That stuff is idiotic and stupid, and they bullcorn it. So I tell people today, listen, if you want to go vote, go vote. Man, listen, don't nobody tell me nothing about going vote, because I ain't never going, I won't go vote, and I will never vote, because all that stuff is idiotic and stupid, and all those people do is lie to us and line their pockets, sending their kids to the best school. They're getting the best health care. They're getting the money. You know, the big wigs that's up there, the career politicians.
Oh, sure. Well, the idiocracy is a part of our culture. We celebrate idiocracy in this country.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess you're right, man. I guess you're right.
And I'm with you. I've as a voter, I have become so exhausted with everything.
It's like, what has voting changed?
It hasn't changed anything.
My life is still going to be the same, and it's going to progressively get worse with these politicians.
So what do we do to change it? What can we do as just an ordinary citizen who doesn't have a lot of power? Any?
You can't do nothing. All you can do is go along with it because we really don't have that. They tell us, oh, your vote is power. Your vote and word squad diddly. So they need to stop lying to you, man. All the people do too is lie to one another. Everybody lie to one another, make things seem worse than what it is. And at the end of the day, everybody is selfish. I'm talking about the politicians we put, the people with the money. You know, they're not worried about.
But our politicians are a reflection of the people. We will.
Well, okay, but
they're supposed to be.
About people with mental health.
People are selfish, not just the politicians.
You know, I mean, it's just. And
we get the politicians we deserve, honestly.
Okay. Okay, well, look, I just want to make that small comment.
It's a great comment. We appreciate the call so much, man.
Okay, bro, y'all just keep on doing what you're doing. And I watch your show every week. I don't call all the time, but I watch it every Thursday.
And what was your name again?
My name is Greg.
Greg, we appreciate
thanks for
the
calling,
call,
Greg.
man. Thursdays at 6. Give us a holler.
Okay, buddy. Y'all have a good day, man.
All right.
Thanks, you too.
Greg coming with the thunder.
Thanks, Greg. Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, we appreciate
He was speaking some truth there, though, and I'm right along with him. I mean, like I said, I voted this last election, but I mean, it was kind of a heartless vote, I guess. Not heartless, but I didn't have my heart in it, you know?
What's the point?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I wasted my Gary Johnson vote in 2012, you know, so what's the point? So, and people tell me, oh, it's a wasted vote. I'm like, F you, you know? I mean, like, I'm going to vote for
and you have those
whoever I
people
want to.
saying, oh, well, you didn't vote, so you don't have a say. Bull crap.
I'm educated, so yes, I do have a say. Are you really educated about what's going on, or are you just voting for somebody because they're a woman, or voting for somebody because they're a business person, or, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Or because they're saying the right things that you're completely falling for.
So, politics, schmolitics, you know, we sprinkle it in here on Higher Thought, you know, but it's part of having that higher thought is being educated. You know, don't believe the hype, and you just got to spread like your positive energy and spread the light to the people.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that's what
that's
the
how
best
you
way
fight
to change.
this thing. That's the way to change.
Like Michael
the world.
Jackson said, Michael Jackson's the best way to make a change is to take a look in the mirror. Change yourself.
And speaking of Michael Jackson, how about these segues, by the way?
Speaking
this
of Michael
day in
Jackson,
history, to kind of lighten up the mood a little bit. 1985, we had "We Are the World, We
Nice.
Are the Children," the Live Aid concert. For all of the people.
Okay, and that
AIDS.
was in London and Philadelphia simultaneously, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
It had like Queen.
Which
Basically all of the
I have
artists
seen
at the
their
time.
Live Aid performance, and they rock the house. I
They
mean, I
rock
don't
it.
know. I don't know
It's
how you could
legendary.
go.
It's legendary. So that was a big moment in music. It was kind of like the first, like every single musician collaborate on something.
So, and that was all benefits going towards what? What was it? It was a
I think
benefit.
like fighting AIDS
Fighting
in
AIDS,
Africa,
Live Aid,
maybe.
Fighting AIDS in Africa. Okay.
Yeah. So, because I don't think they get their AIDS from being gay in Africa.
I don't know. I'm not going to
Is that
assume where
politically
Africa
correct?
gets their
Probably
AIDS.
not. Heck no. See what else happened. Ooh, in 1990, Ghost opened with Patrick Swayze. and Demi
Ghost.
Moore.
Okay, I've seen that movie once.
Ooh,
It was pretty good.
darling. It was like the #1 movie at the time. 1930, the first World Cup for our soccer fans out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know
People are
anything
big
about
into
soccer.
It's
At all.
football.
It's football. Football
It's
in
major
every
thing
other part of
around
the
the world.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. Biggest sport. Don't know anything about it.
Famous people birthdays. Harrison
What's today?
Ford.
July
July
13th?
13th. It's on the screen.
Oh,
There we go.
Oh, all right.
Let's see. Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford.
Want to make a guess?
Like him. How old is he? Oh, Jesus. 77.
Ooh, good guess. 75.
Well, I was going to say 75. I was
and
going to
he's
say
still doing
75.
movies,
Yeah.
I mean, I think he got killed off in Star Wars.
The first one?
I think the Force Awakens,
Force
maybe.
Awakens.
I don't know. Didn't the sun kill him?
I don't know. I don't remember. I saw it.
I
haven't seen Rogue One
Yeah,
yet.
I haven't seen Rogue One either. I heard it.
Wasn't that great?
I'll go
Disney
see
took
the
over.
Han Solo movie, though. I'll go see the Han Solo movie when that comes out.
There's a
next
Han
year.
Solo movie?
They're
coming out?
making the Han Solo
Oh,
movie.
is it going to be Ewan McGregor? It wasn't that Han Solo in
No, he was Obi-Wan Kenobi, but
Obi-Wan
they're making an
Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi movie too.
Oh, okay.
They're making like all the spin-offs, like
Of
Yoda,
course.
like
Well, they're going to make money off of that because even
Disney.
there are so many Star Trek people out there, not Star Trek, Star Wars people.
Star Wars.
People. They're going to make money because they're going to go see it,
Without a doubt.
They're going to go see it, even if it's crap.
yeah. So, speaking of Star Trek, Patrick Stewart.
Okay, birthday today. I'm saying Patrick Stewart's probably pretty close, 72.
Really, you thought that Patrick Stewart was
He was old when he was-
younger than Harrison Ford?
Yeah, I did. I thought he was younger than Harrison Ford.
Really?
He's not.
He's always looked old, though, to me.
He has always looked old. That's why I'm saying I think it's a
I mean, he
little
was
deceiving.
Professor Xavier, in the X-Men.
Yep.
But he's 77. And I actually just recently saw him. I saw the new
Wow.
Logan movie.
Yeah.
Logan, like
Yeah,
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
And, of course, Patrick Stewart was in there as
Does he look the
Professional
same?
Xavier. Well, it's based in, like, 2030 or something like that. And all the
Okay.
X-Men have, like, died. And this is actually what's going on in the comic books right now. They're killing off all the X-Men characters because they shot, like, that was Marvel's first movie. Like in recent times, and they basically Universal had the rights to it, and Disney owns X-Men now. So
Oh, so they're killing off all the
they're
characters
killing
so
off
they
the
can't.
characters, and then they're gonna basically reboot it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, but they'll own it at that point. So, needless to say, that's kind of what's
Again,
going on with
people
X-Men.
will go see X-Men.
How
Never
about,
was really a fan.
You recognize this one? Ba-da-da, ba-da-da, dun, dun, dun. My mama sucker to me, try to tell me how to live. Ba-da-da,
I feel like I should know how to do it.
But I don't listen to it because my head like a steel. Cheech and Chong?
Cheech and Chong. Okay,
come
nope,
on.
I did not
You
know
knew it,
that.
Katie Anna. You knew. You
I
should've
didn't
called
know. Higher thought. Didn't
Yeah.
know.
in.
That's why I didn't know.
So Cheech turning 71. I think they might have another
Okay,
movie
everybody's in
coming
their
out.
70s.
Yeah,
Turning
yeah.
71.
How about today's
Cheech Marin.
Julius Caesar's birthday?
Oh, okay.
Thanks
He
for
would've
the
been,
salads,
like,
I mean, like
love
some
a Caesar
quality
salad.
salads.
Love a Caesar salad.
Yeah, yeah. So, other than that, You know, he like conquered a bunch of countries.
Yeah, and then
I
was
guess, and-
stabbed to death
Yeah, and
by
Brutus.
a Senate. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
That'll cover this day in history.
Okay, I'm glad we did that.
Moving on to the next segment.
Excellent.
Let's see. Oh, some space stuff. You want to talk about space?
We can talk about space.
So apparently there's a renewed moon interest, and NASA says
A
that,
renewed moon interest.
you know, like what have they been doing the last 40 years? I don't know. So it's just like really,
Went to the moon and like, man,
we're gonna chill. We're gonna
Good for
chill
a
for the next 40 years. Yeah.
renewed moon. So they're
But they're saying that by 2020 we are going to be robot mining the moon. My question
what?
is, what are we mining?
yeah. For what are we
Like
trying to
moon
get?
rocks, or is there?
Is that valuable? No.
Well,
Why
and-
would what would? But how would that benefit us on Earth?
I don't get
like
it.
How,
Unless like we're maybe like building some condominiums up
with
there.
moon rock,
you
it's
know?
like earthquake proof and completely
Basically,
damage
I bet
proof.
you what it is the contractors going up there and
Seeing if there's oil on the moon.
Oil, like own some land right quick, you know. So and
Would you
then-
ever go up in space if you had the opportunity to? Like if you
Dang right, I would.
you would?
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Oh God, I don't think I would. I don't think I could do that.
Oh,
I'm
come
scared
on.
of going up in a plane now. I used to not be, but going up to space?
I mean, like,
Wow.
who wouldn't want to do it with no gravity? You know, I mean,
Do
like,
it with no gravity. That
You
that's
know?
on the bucket list. Chad, adding that one to the bucket list.
bucket list. So yeah, there's that. How about this one? Kind of cool. China teleports quantum information into space. First time in
Wow,
human history that's
okay.
happened. Like transportation. Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah. So or teleportation, I guess. I would say.
Teleportation of what now? What was it?
Quantum information.
Quantum information
Yeah,
teleported. So what did they like? They had what they teleported from and to? Like how did they do
That's
that?
a good question.
Like,
I
how
probably
did they
should
know it
have
got
read the
there?
article, you know, a little further. But
That
I
was a
getting some
Facebook scroll.
headlines, You know, it was a quick little scroll. Like, read a little bit of the article, and it's like, oh man, quantum physics. That's pretty complicated. You know? Like, what is this? What's the name of that show? With the nerds, kind of. Big
Is it
Bang
a quantum
Theory.
physics?
Big Bang Theory. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're both
Also a
quantum
show that I
physicists.
haven't watched. Sorry.
What?
Acadiana. I haven't watched Big Bang Theory.
It's okay.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't watch hardly any shows.
Me neither.
You know, so. Which, speaking of which, that was going to be one of the things I bring up. Anything over the summer you've enjoyed watching?
Well, the House of Cards season came out over the new House of Cards season came out
Yeah,
over the
that's
summer.
pretty good.
That was season 5, I
Yeah.
think, and it was awesome. Claire became a total.
Well, don't give the spoilers.
I'm just saying, Claire became
a badass.
A badass.
Yeah, a badass.
Like she was already, but she handled it.
Right.
So.
Well, and everybody was watching the House of Cards, and I actually started from season 5. I watched some of season 1, but I didn't have Netflix at the time, and so like I kind of.
You started with season 5?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I got to go back and
Why'd
watch
you
1
do
through
that?
4.
Oh.
Well, because everybody was watching season 5, and you know, I mean, like saw the updates, and you know, it was pretty relatively easy. I mean, you've seen one White House show, you've seen you know the most
Well,
of,
yeah.
at least as far as knowing the chief of
I d-
staff, knowing the press secretary, and you know all that.
Yeah, but you got to see how they get to that point.
Get to the power,
That's-
yeah. Because
that's-
I watched some of the first season, and he was like a senator then. So,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
that's been good TV.
Anything else that I've watched
I watched
this summer?
Glow recently. The girl
Yeah.
wrestling
Okay, so
thing
there was the documentary.
is made by the
and then there was the
Orange is
show.
the New Black
Yeah,
people.
and it was. You could
I
tell.
enjoyed it.
I don't know.
was pretty
I thought it was a
funny.
little forced. I don't know. I feel like they overacted. There were some stereotypical characters in there. It just
Well,
didn't
they were
pique my
based
interest.
actually on the real characters.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
In Glow.
And I didn't. I mean, I don't know anything about that either. So I don't know. I'll have to maybe
I
give it
found
another
entertaining. I mean,
try.
Yeah.
But you like wrestling and all that. You remember those
But-
girls when they like the actual wrestling?
no, they weren't like WWF girl. It was
Oh,
just
okay.
like just women's wrestling in
little
Las
side
Vegas
league.
or something like
Okay.
that. And it was in the 80s. I was a little kid, maybe
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
a couple years old, you know. So, but you know,
I'll probably
most of
watch
the
the
show,
documentary,
most
but,
of the show wasn't about wrestling. You know, the documentary was all about the wrestling people. But the show is just about like
The characters
them
and-
character and building up
How they
and,
got to that point, just like Orange
failed
is the New
actresses
Black.
and yada yada yada.
I liked Orange is the New Black, but only like the first and second season, and after that it was just horrible. And I feel like that's where this show picked up, was kind of,
I watched the
Bad side.
13 Reasons Why.
I can't watch, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch
It's
it.
kind of a bummer at
Yeah,
times.
I know it was a big thing, everybody was into it. I don't know. I just don't want to watch it.
I mean, it was intriguing, like made you want to watch the next episode kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what's going to happen? You
So
know,
this
or
girl,
who's the next tape about?
she kills herself, and then,
Makes 13 like tapes about
okay,
it.
and
you
each
know,
episode is a tape.
Each tape is about another person, how they like screwed her over and made her want to kill herself.
Okay,
So,
interesting.
yeah, you know, but it's caused a lot of issues, I guess. Like, oh, it's promoting, you know, suicide as a way out.
Promoting suicide?
Well, it's basically it idolizes suicide, I guess, you know, or like kind of makes it.
I guess I
seem-
can see that.
seem like it's like, oh, you could commit suicide if you have
Yeah,
problems.
and then, and people are, I mean, yeah, maybe so. Maybe to teenagers. She was a teenager, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I know teenagers think that that's kind of an easy way out of things. So, yeah, maybe so. Maybe it would. Maybe some kids might get the wrong idea from it.
You been to the movie theater so far this summer?
Yes. I saw Despicable Me 3 with Natalie. That was
Okay.
good.
Was it good?
I'll always go see an animated film. Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah,
was really
most
good.
animated movies
It
are
was really
usually
funny.
pretty good. I've been to a couple, but Wonder Woman was awesome.
I know.
It was
I haven't
awesome.
seen Wonder Woman yet. God, I'm just keep saying these things that I haven't seen. I haven't seen Wonder Woman yet.
Well-
But I heard it was good.
And that segues us right into our next topic, the Batman director, because they are making a Batman movie with, Ben Affleck. And they're coming out with Justice League with Wonder Woman and Batman. But needless to say, Ben Affleck wrote a script for the Batman,
Oh, God.
and they scrapped it.
Thank
we don't
God.
want your Bat script, Affleck.
Thank God, because he already isn't that great of a Batman. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Affleck as a Batman.
At least he jokes about that, though. Like, I think he did some
He
sketch.
jokes that he's not a good Batman?
Yeah, he does. And, like, he's like, let me guess, you want Christian Bale to sign.
Yes.
How
Or
about
Michael
this?
Keaton. Best
Kid
Batman.
Rock wants to run for Senate in Michigan.
Oh, Jesus.
So we've
I
got.
don't know. Is Kid Rock... I just never liked his music. I heard he was this great musician, but his music sucks.
It's not that great.
Sorry.
He's a decent songwriter.
Yeah.
He was
Is he
around,
from
he was like a
Michigan?
DJ and like did a lot of the early rap rock stuff.
Yeah. And that's cool. Like the whole early rap rock, bringing that whole hybrid in, I guess.
Ball with the bada bang,
Yeah.
bang.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
So running for
Senate.
Senate in
Mm-hmm.
Michigan, like state Senate?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He'll probably
We'll
win.
see.
He'll probably
Yeah,
win.
I'm sure he
you know.
will. A celebrity.
Hey, we've got The Rock talking about running for president in 2020.
Oh, yeah.
If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
Then it really would be idiocracy because isn't
Hector Camacho, like
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean it already is, but
Ooh, Nintendo came out with their first virtual reality game,
okay.
and it is for none other than Mario Kart.
Oh,
Yay! I want to play.
I want to play too.
Yeah.
Is it on Switch?
I don't know.
Is
It's
it
virtual
on
reality.
console?
I don't know.
So it's one of
I
the
saw a
things that
video.
you put
Yeah,
on?
you got to put a thing on your face.
Whoa.
But it's like, whoa, you're in the Mario Kart.
Cool.
So throw a shell at somebody, drop a
Awesome.
banana on somebody. You
Whoa,
know?
that'll be so cool.
I can't wait. So yeah, no more smoking in Lafayette bars.
Yeah. Yeah, when
What are
I
your
was a
thoughts on that?
non-smoker, that would have been great, but now I started
Now you're
smoking again. Yeah,
Need a cigarette.
I need a cigarette, so
Go out in the
sucks.
pouring rain, smoke a cig.
Okay, but here's my problem with that though is that the city of Lafayette does not own any of these bars that they are saying you can no longer smoke in these bars. These are private establishments. How can you pass a law that dictates what happens in a private establishment?
Well, right, and they've already gotten rid of it in restaurants and everywhere else.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like some people, but I do understand how some people want to go to a bar and not smell like smoke.
I get that too.
Make some non-smoking bars.
Exactly.
You know, and then have your smoking bar.
Exactly. If you own a bar and you want it to be a non-smoking establishment, then by all means, I won't go to that bar,
you know.
or I will go and I will smoke outside, which is okay. I mean, that's what people are going to end up doing. But
Or just make marijuana legal, and
Or-
then then every problem is solved. Nobody needs cigarettes.
yeah,
So
well, maybe.
So
not.
that's part of the changes going down in Lafayette. Also, we're supposed to be getting some new smart meters in downtown where you
I
can
love
like,
this idea.
swipe a card or have an app or
I
something
just
like that.
said that today. I
Yeah.
was in downtown today and I did not have quarters and I couldn't pay the meter.
No
so I had
quarters.
to, I didn't have to park very far. I parked here in this parking lot. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would be great if you could swipe a card or.
Well, I mean, why
have the
not?
app.
That's what everybody's doing nowadays
Absolutely.
with the Ubers and digital stuff.
Yep.
So
But again, it would take away jobs because I'm assuming there's still meter maids in Lafayette, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess. So it would take away those jobs because ultimately the meter could kind of
automation. of jobs.
write you an automated ticket.
That's it. Let's see, we're pushing through here on Higher Thought and got about, 12, 13, 14 minutes, something like that. A few more topics. Let's see, Florida County bans homework for elementary schools.
Bans homework.
Homework. No
I
homework.
like it.
Yeah.
I do like it.
Well, these elementary school kids are going home with a ridiculous amount
They
of homework.
are. They are.
And kids don't make
at
good
all
grades.
levels,
Parents
really.
do.
Yeah, exactly.
What I was always told.
I mean, is homework, from a teacher's perspective, and Acadiana, you have a student, I mean, everybody's been through school, is homework effective?
Is it?
I don't know. I don't think so.
For some.
We have teachers who will send home an hour or two of homework a night just for their class. And if you're a
Heck
high
no.
schooler taking 5, 6 core subjects, you can't do
Can't
it
do it,
all.
no.
You can't do it all. And they tell us keep your homework to 15 minutes. But I mean, they don't. I feel like a lot of teachers use homework as a way to like get material across that they couldn't get across in the classroom, which is wrong too because these kids don't know it.
Well, and pretty much all the kids do is like, hey, what you got there?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well,
The only
that's all I did.
way, the only way to control,
I made it through school that way,
the only way to control copying is to have it done in front of you.
without a doubt.
So I like it. No homework for elementary school students. In Finland, they don't have homework at all. It's no
yeah.
homework.
and
And like
there's
4
like
hour
shorter school days.
Yeah, 4
and
hour school days.
They have like 2-hour recesses and like
Yep.
go play and
more hands-on learning.
they're a lot smarter than us. Not so much testing.
Yep,
all
and they
that
still
good
score.
stuff.
They're the on the world level. They're the highest. They score the highest in
Maybe because
whatever
their
test.
tests are the easiest.
Maybe.
I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. I've got a few topics here. Path to enlightenment or higher thought. Some things you could do to have higher thought to where you can join in the conversation, Acadiana. Yeah.
Okay, so
Let's talk about
path to enlightenment.
Or higher thought.
Or higher thought.
Yes.
I feel like that it's hard for people to get there nowadays because of the bombardment of social media and television, and people
Mm-hmm.
just don't think for themselves anymore. So how can you achieve that?
So have autonomy. Think to
Turning that
yourself.
off.
Turn off the TV every now and again. Put the phone down every now and again.
Mm-hmm.
Think for yourself. Like research some history. Because history has a way of repeating itself.
Yeah,
And in
read
fact,
a book.
know yourself. Know yourself.
Yeah.
Know what makes you tick. Know your own history and don't repeat your mistakes.
Yep. And a lot of people don't do that. It's hard to achieve that. To achieve like the peace and tranquility to gain enlightenment
Surely.
or higher thought.
Let's see. How about connecting with good people?
What you mean?
Well, you know,
as a path to enlightenment.
surely, you know, I mean, like, I always tell students that your friends are like, you know, an elevator. They can bring you up or they can bring you
Absolutely.
down. You know?
Anybody that you surround yourself with.
Surely.
Absolutely.
And I mean, like, all this is just we're sharing energies with each other, you know. And actually, one of the topic that I have a little bit later is ways to keep people from draining your energy.
Yeah.
You know, and putting up that shield,
Yep.
so to speak.
Sometimes you have to just cut people off, you know? And I mean, you want to have people that you can have good conversations with, positive conversations with, but ultimately in any relationship that you have, there's going to be some negativity, you know? There's
There will
going to
be some.
But at that,
Eventually, though, the negativity can outweigh everything. And it's
Absolutely.
just like, I have to cut my losses. you know?
Absolutely,
Like,
yeah.
like the friend that, you know, is always complaining about
Yeah.
everything. Or the friend that's always got drama.
because when you surround yourself with people like that, you start thinking like that.
Without a doubt.
It, like you said, their energy kind of bleeds onto yours.
Well, and that's also leads right into the next one. Stop your negative thinking, you know? So, like, I'm not good at
That's
this.
hard. That's
or,
really hard.
you know, I'll never be able to do this. Or, you know, those goals are unrealistic for me. Or nobody likes me. Or whatever, you know. Try to think positive about stuff.
Yeah, and again, that's hard as
Easier
well
said than
because
done.
we're constantly like we're our worst critics, and so everything we do about ourselves is, you know, I'm critiquing myself in the most negative way. Probably I see it differently than other people see
But
it.
that's that voice in your head. Is there a way of shutting off that voice?
I'm sure they write self-help books about it, so there's a way. Like you said, I think it's honestly just being introspective and thinking about your life, and maybe for every negative thought that you have, try to force it out with a positive one. You know,
Sure,
things that are
sure.
going right instead of things that are going wrong.
Well, and you know, meditation I think is key in that. In that, you know, give your monkey brain something to do. You know, like even if it's like, you know, hey monkey brain, why don't you just like focus on my breathing, you know, and just like breathing in, breathing out, and just like, you know, you can let your mind flow, but you know, it's just kind of you know, that'll silence the brain and you can kind of, it'll clear your mind.
Yeah, and that's the hardest part is clearing your mind. And I know meditation takes practice. That's something that's
Surely.
I've wanted to
I've been
to get
trying.
into. Yeah,
I've
it's
been-
it's difficult. It's difficult to stop and shut down and not think about stuff. You know, and I guess you can still think about it, but like you said, you're focused on something else that it just kind of
It's just
gets
using
pushed
that
out.
thing and like it's use it, you know, I mean it's a muscle. That thing is a muscle, you know. So the more you do it, the better you get. I mean, I've been kind of doing the self-taught meditation, you know,
Yeah,
just like
you
from
go-
what I've learned, you know, in my own research but they do offer a Buddhist meditation here right down St. Mary Street, actually right after the show at 7:00.
We need to go hit that up.
We do need to go hit that
The
up.
Buddhist meditation.
Yeah, and they have a temple over there on St. Mary. A lot of you probably know about it.
I had a stepfather who was Buddhist. He was a British Buddhist.
British Buddhist. Well, I'd like to be a British Buddhist. Bollocks! Let's see. Ankara Imparo. How about that one? Having an open mind, always learning.
Always learning.
Always
Yep.
learning.
Is that what? Is that the tattoo that she
Yeah,
has? Okay,
yeah,
all right.
Ankara Imparo,
I
always learning.
remembered. Always
Yeah,
learning.
always
Yeah,
learning.
and that's the thing is that you need to not think that you know everything about a situation because nobody does.
Right,
Nobody
and the
does.
most brilliant people in the world say they don't know anything,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it's the idiots that say they think they
They-
know everything.
Yep.
So, how about being thankful for what you have and helping others?
Absolutely, like I said, replacing negative thoughts with positive ones. What do I have?
Mm-hmm.
What do I have?
You know, a lot of people like whine about the stuff they don't have. You know? So, what are the blessings that are? You know, like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
negative things are happening to me in my life, but what are some of the good things too?
Yeah, I mean, there's always, you're in a place in life where there's always going to be people that have it worse than you and that have it better than you, and you can't
No
compare
doubt.
yourself, you know? If anything, like you said, see how you can help those who don't have it as good as you.
Have a sense of empathy, understand what other people are thinking, and then finally, do what makes you happy. You know, have fun with life. You know, and be creative, be artistic.
I think that's
you know?
another thing that people have trouble with is when they have downtime, they, instead of doing something
Waste it.
to express themselves, they waste it on their phones or in
Like,
front of the
let me-
TV or on the
watch
computer.
Higher Thought. Yeah.
So, yeah, doing things that you love, figuring out what it is that you're good at, because everybody's good at something, expressing yourself in a creative way. Even if you're writing down your ideas and they're all really negative and crappy at first, at least you're getting them out. you
Right.
know?
Well, even if you're
And not burdening
doing,
other
like,
people
a
by
low-budget
complaining
piss
about 'em.
poor TV show in Acadiana. you
Yeah.
know? I mean, like, hey, our show's pretty good. For the budget, you know?
It's my first time.
Hey, you're doing pretty good, huh?
It's my first time.
Yeah, first time. So yeah, we just gave you the complete guide, Acadiana,
Yeah.
on how you can get on our level.
We're geniuses.
you know?
Yeah.
Higher planes, higher thought. You know?
Listen
did my
to
hand
us.
disappear? We must not be in like a real. That must not really be the background.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
We just blew y'all's minds.
Yep. So, real quick ways to get people from draining your energy, you know, because you got to shield some of the people's crap sometime.
Yep.
So, stay centered and grounded, you know, sense when the negative energy is coming.
And get away.
Well, yeah. Let's see. Next, state of non-resistance. Basically, clear your body of the negativity.
Like,
You know, just don't let it affect
just
you.
don't let it affect you.
Own your own personal aura space. You know, basically set up a defense mechanism. You know.
Own your own personal aura space.
Yeah, this is like these are my thoughts. Like, I'm not going to let your emotions affect mine.
Okay.
You know, and it's basically essentially putting up a shield.
Also hard to do.
Which is very hard, and sometimes it
All
leaks
this stuff
through.
is hard.
So therefore, it's necessary to have an energy cleanse. You know, whether it be a shower, meditation, or whatever it is that you can cleanse yourself and get yourself back in. You know, line.
Put a little drops of essential oil in your bath.
There you go.
A little aromatherapy.
You know, a little Epsom salt.
It's
you
good.
know, some bath salts. You know,
Not
and
those
then
bad
run through
ones.
the city naked.
Eat somebody's face.
Let's see. Call back your power, your energy. You know, so bring back in all your positive energy.
Yes.
Because you can't shield it all, but don't let it affect you on a long-term basis. So we've got a few minutes left. First off, I want to say you've done a great job.
Thank you.
We've got one last topic, and 14 signs you are terrible in bed.
Oh God, that's a closer.
Yeah.
I thought we were doing
yeah.
positive stuff here, and we're talking about.
Well, I mean, like, just turn it around. Like, if you're doing this, well, then do the opposite to be better, I guess.
All right. So what are these signs?
Okay, so it says poor hygiene. So, like, wash your newts,
That would
wash your
definitely
tatoonie.
wash
you
the
know.
noo-noo.
Yeah.
Get under the boobs.
You know, it's
if you
not
have
a
that
tuna
problem.
salad.
Oh.
Don't drink too much alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Some
which
people
of
it
these are
takes a
kinda
little
weird,
bit
yeah.
to kind of get you to
To
that
loosen
wild
you
and
up.
crazy.
You know, I
let's
can
have fun.
understand that if it's been a while.
But if you
maybe.
get too drunk though, then you're worthless.
It shouldn't be every time that you have
Yeah.
to have a drink.
Well, yeah,
And yeah, too much alcohol, you got the whiskey D, it's no good.
guys, never good.
So low sex drive,
Well, yeah,
lazy in the bedroom.
being lazy.
You know, like you just lay there and let that
That's no
person
fun.
do all the work. Too quiet.
Too quiet. Okay,
Yeah, you
so you
gotta-
got to let them know that
Right.
you're enjoying yourself. A little bit of that, not porn star level, but
All right. Well, and just like even
Or maybe.
talking a little dirty.
oh,
Talk dirty to me. Let's see, partner. Well, it's not a good sign if your partner doesn't ever ask for seconds.
oh God.
Yeah. Let's see. You don't want to overdo painful activities.
Overdue painful activity.
I mean, like two in the pink, one in the stink.
Oh my
I guess
God. Yeah,
let's
you don't
see.
want it to be painful. Jesus.
You definitely need to diversify. You know. I mean,
Switch it up.
Yeah, switch it up.
Switch
from
it up
time.
a little bit. Different positions.
Be honest with what you want, and you notice how like I'm changing these to positive statements. Be honest with what you want.
Be honest with
know.
what you want.
I
Tell
mean,
your partner because they can't read your mind.
exactly. You know, I mean, if you like want your partner to stick your finger in your booty hole, you know.
I was asking him if I could cuss on TV, and I might let it slip, and he's talking about fingers and booty holes.
Well, I mean, this is educational. Let's see. It's not a good sign when you just want to finish. like our show here.
I almost
You snarf that?
Almost.
You don't want to snarf the jizz crystals. You don't want to say no too often. And ultimately, you don't want to be a faker. Fakers.
Don't be a faker.
Yep.
You liar.
Do guys ever fake? I've faked.
I think they probably fake whether they're enjoying it.
How much time we got, Jacob?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Well, it's been a good show, Katie Anna. Thanks for having us. Sorry if we got a little naughty at times. Holly did a great job. We hope to have you back on the show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally. This was fun.
It's been fun. So, yeah. Here, we don't sweat the petty stuff. Pet the sweaty stuff.
Pet the sweaty stuff.
Yeah, so thank you, Katie. Bye.
Bye.